Good morning. We'll get started in just a second. I see Brandy's on. Hi, Brandy. I'm talking kind of quiet because I have a household of sleeping people, but we'll make sure that this is going to be recording. It is. Okay, we'll wait just a minute. All right, I'm just going to get started. This is recording, so Brandy, if it's just you and I for a while, busting it out, that's fine. Hopefully, this helps whoever is following along in the future. It is early, so make sure when you're doing a very early power hour that you hydrate, like get yourself some water and stretch out. And like I'm not exercising for a while, but I still like put a tiny bit of energize in just to kind of like help me go. So it's not a full serving or anything like that, but just enough to kind of help me figure it out. So help me stay alive. Um, Okay, so every power hour looks a little bit different for different coaches. If you missed the live power hour yesterday in the champions page, it was really, really good. And I really liked the way that she combined some of the steps. And that's kind of what I do too. And so I took my old power hour and her power hour and I kind of worked out something that I think is going to work really, really well for me. So maybe for you too. So the first step is we're going to expand our network. So, this is where we are going to go and we are going to either find an account that we like following and we're going to look at their followers, see who is actually liking posts and commenting on posts. Or you can go to someone that you really like who's not a coach that you are friends with, and you can kind of see who their friends are and that kind of thing. But we're going to spend 10 minutes just um, following other people or commenting on them and just kind of making that connection. Okay, so this is our initiating connection and followers. Okay, so sometimes for me, when as I'm going through that, I like to every once in a while like peek over at their profiles, and I will like some of their pictures, comment if I see something interesting, that kind of thing. So I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes, and here we go. So 10 minutes. I also like to go where, um, like the people that I'm really good friends with, I like to see who they follow too, as far as their like a bigger account that maybe they follow, and then I can see the followers on that account. So if you're just getting on, hi Andrea. if you're it's early. If you're just getting on, I set the timer, so we're just right now we're just finding new followers. Like we're going out and finding people, and we're just initiating connection. So, and that can look however you like to do that. Um, so we're just grabbing. We're just meeting people. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes 10 minutes can actually seem like a really long time when you're just like putting it down. And so, anyway, you think it's not long and then you like get lost. So be careful when you are finding new people not to get too lost on Instagram. Like sometimes I end up like on some like squirrel moment, I guess, and like comparing or looking at other things. And so just be very, very specific with those, with that time on there. Okay, so we're gonna take the next chunk of time to be doing inviting. So one thing that I really liked about the call yesterday that she did in the champions page was, and this is how I do it too, because as you're looking at people to invite, a lot of time you're going to find people that you've already invited. So this is kind of like an invite or a follow-up combined time. So as you are, so first we're going to go to our likes. So our likes and our comments on our posts, whether that's on Instagram or Facebook, just wherever you have done recent posts. And hopefully you have at least, two posts that you can look at. And whether that is a post that was kind of more towards a fitness um, boot camp, or if it's more towards the business, just either one, it doesn't matter. But grab one of those posts that you've done in the last, few days and go to the likes and the comments. And if you have not sent them an invitation before, then send them like that kind of that hey girl invitation, like, hey, thanks for liking some of my posts. I really appreciate the support, the love. Um, I'm putting together, that my next boot camp. Is this something that you might be interested in? I usually say something like, no pressure. It's fine if it's not your thing, but I wanted to make sure you were invited. I just think that it would be fun to have and then give them some sort of compliment, like your energy or your positivity or your, excitement about XYZ. So we're going to take the next 10 minutes, and this is just off of your likes or your comments on posts. We will get to stories later. So we're going to take 10 minutes and do off of our posting. Okay. So, and if they've already sent an invite, but they've never responded, like they've ghosted, then you can send them a follow up. And that's something like, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you saw my invitation to this next boot camp. I don't want to bother you. I just want you to know that I really appreciate you following along on this crazy journey. Um, I hope you have a great day or whatever. So it's not necessarily like a follow up as in, hey, how come you're not getting back to me? It's more like, I hope you saw you were invited, but just so you know, I'm just grateful that you're here, kind of a feel. So 10 minutes is on the clock and let's go. And this is also like if they've commented, I'm interacting with their comments too, and then sending a private message. So it kind of puts those together where I'm interacting. Like if you're following along with your Success Club tracker, like it's kind of combining a few steps at once. If you're just hopping on, we are sending out invitations or follow-ups to anyone who has liked or commented on some of our recent posts. So Okay, wow, that startled me. Okay, 1 second. Because I gotta finish sending this one thing. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing, only to our stories, in our stories. And I suggest like looking when you go onto your stories, kind of going just keeping it within those first 3 frames, maybe not all the way to the end because some people don't make it that far or um, they haven't seen it yet. So just go on your stories and go about 3 frames in, 2 or 3 frames in, and look and see who is watching your story. So even if you have sent them an invite in the past, they still get a follow up because they're still watching your stories. So this is where I kind of start interact. If they have stories of their own, I watch it back. I send the invite or I send the follow up. Um, and so kind of go through that. And there's another 10 minutes on that. And this is also where if you run out of people to invite for some reason, then that means like we've got to get more creative on our stories or we need to be talking to more people, meeting new people. And so for me, if I run out of people I feel like I can invite either through my posting or my stories, then I spend the rest of that time going out and finding more followers still, like going out and interacting with people um, and that kind of thing. So take 10 minutes and look at your who is watching your stories, love on them back a little bit, and make sure they have an invite or a follow up to the invite. And whoops, I forgot to start my alarm. So we got 10 minutes on that. Jeez, that scared me. It's gonna keep scaring me, that dang alarm. Okay, so this last 10 minutes of inviting / following up is gonna be on any new followers. So this is also kind of where if you go to your page, your page, and you hit on followers, it will show you the most recent ones at the top. And I feel like since they followed you, even if they're following you back, they're interested in who you are. So it's okay to send an invite. If this is also like a part where sometimes I like to see who I want to maybe follow back. Like if they look like they're my kind of person, then I will follow them back. Um, and then it's also like it's just that can also just be a reach out. So it's just a touch. She called yesterday's on the call, she called it a touch point. So it's like it could be an invitation, it could be a follow-up, or it could just be like you are connecting with them in some way. You're showing them that you see who they are and like care about them, whether that's liking on their photos, commenting on their photos, or sending them a private message. So basically, we're just taking 10 minutes to be interacting with people. But if they are new followers, then send the invite. Does that kind of make sense? This is kind of a newer step that I'm incorporating because I didn't think about. I'm not sure why I didn't think about to start adding new followers. I mean, to start inviting new followers. That's like so dumb. But you can also, it's also in your notifications, like in your hearts. So if you go to your hearts, you can also kind of scroll through and see who has recently followed you and then kind of check them out, decide if you want to follow them back, or if they were a follow back, you can say, hey, thanks for following back. Like, this is kind of like what I do. Would you want to do it? You know, kind of a thing. Or you can just, it's kind of go with your gut on this, I think. So, but we're just going to spend 5 minutes in this part. So I feel like our time is starting to crunch down. So we'll spend 5 minutes just like initiating contact with new followers. I won't lie, this isn't necessarily my favorite part because sometimes new followers are like spam accounts or business accounts or that kind of thing. So it's kind of like sifting through those two to kind of weed out the ones that like you are not gonna actually ever have communication with versus the ones who you're like, okay, no, actually this person I need to send them a message. So I don't love it for that reason because I feel like, oh my gosh, just a bunch of crazies. But there's also some good ones in there. You just gotta weed them out. Okay, I muted myself because my nephew came downstairs, but the timer just went off. So you're good on that one. Um, with our last little bit, so we're going to spend 10 minutes with follow-ups. So, and this is also where I try to clear my um, inbox. So at least on the ones that are invite related. So go into your inboxes, follow-ups, look at your lists for anybody in the last, you know, we can go back a week. So hopefully you guys are tracking. I'm terrible at tracking. But this would be a good time to just kind of see who you need to respond to and then follow up with anybody else. So just our little follow-up section. So I will hit the timer for 10 minutes and then we'll be almost done. Okay, there's just 30 seconds left, so try to finish up who you're chatting with or sneak in one more. All right, there's our timer. So technically we have 5 minutes left on the, if we are following the 1 hour. And so the reason that we spend so much time doing inviting is because that's what pushes our needle forward. And so for me, I can always go back and do more of any of these categories, but as long as I have done, I mean, we basically did 30 minutes of inviting, right? And so as long as that is done, I feel very confident moving on with the day because I'm like, the nitty gritty's got done. So for the last 5 minutes, this is where I sneak in recognition. So whether that is for a coach or for a challenger, and then I send them that. I can send a message to them. I can throw it up on my team page, or I can put it in my stories. So I just try to find some sort of recognition. For some reason, that's one of the vital behaviors that I am terrible at, and so I stick it in my power hour. And I feel like the power hour is meant to have the things that you suck at stuck into so that you get those done. So, if that makes sense. So, just take 5 minutes and do a little bit of recognition. See somebody either on your team or a challenger, or even just somebody that you follow, like just to tell them thanks or recognize them for doing that. And that's how we close out um, the power hour. So, I'm setting 5 minutes. Just quickly go and do that. All right. Okay. You have officially completed this power hour. Pat yourself on the back and good job, and kudos. Kudos for waking up early to do this, you guys. And now it's gonna feel so good the rest of the day. So have the best day. And I will see you guys in the team page. And yeah, thanks for hopping on. I'm so glad to have buddies. I think it makes all the difference. So I love it. I love, love, love it. Anyway, all right. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hey, Andrea.